Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and today we are looking at none other than the custom cape for the Mcfarlane Spawn by maxbird. Do note this is the second version which came out, which is the long cape. I will be giving a preview of the first one too, which is a shorter cape, but yeah, today this is the one we're going to focus on. This cape, as you can see, it comes with a lot of wiring involved in it, and it really gives that complete look of Spawn, more like accurate from the comics as compared to the previous one. It's more longer. Every single pleat that you see right here, and even these are all wired, so there's a bunch of wires going through the entire cape, so it's very articulated, highly posable. There are some good things, there are some bad things about the cape, which I will get into, but overall, as a Spawn fan who would love to have an amazing cape, a highly articulated figure, uh, compared to the first one, I do like this better, but there are some issues which come with this one, which weren't there in the previous one, and we'll get into that before I guess we get to the good stuff. So one of the major issues I feel with this cape was how it, even though highly posable, does tend to have a lot of, fidgeting to go around, and it'll take you quite a while to, figure it out and know how to actually pose it the way you want to, because it's an extremely long cape with a lot of wiring. So you might have to play around a bit till you, get the right pose you want it to be in. Another thing which I really am bummed about is these little things in the side. They do move a bit. They have a little bit of wiring here on top, but there is no wiring here. So they tend to go like this or like this. They don't stand still, as you can see on the other side. Like the only reason it's being able to be held together is because of the wiring in these parts of the cape. So if I was to move these more straight up, by the way, I haven't glued the thing onto his body, so I wouldn't be able to show the other cape if I had. So yeah, this part right here, what really bums me is that I have to, just put it in the right position because there's no wiring here. There's wiring on top of it, so it can be posed that way, but this is something which, really bothers me, which wasn't really there in the previous cape, which I will show in a second. But yeah, this is something which really bothers me. And yeah, apart from that, the whole cape as a whole, it's good, but as I said, there's a lot of wiring in there, so that'll be an issue when you really have to pose him in a dynamic pose. And yeah, it takes a lot of, engineering or like getting to know how to work it, so that can get on your nerves, and I would understand totally why, due to that aspect, people would prefer the previous one. So as you can see, the wiring here is really like there to give you high posability, but at the same time it gets on your nerves when you really can't hit the right pose. So let me take off the cape for a second to show you exactly how it looks like and what exactly I'm talking about. So as you can see, this is the entire cape, and well, you can, due to the wiring, you can actually make it stand up on its own. But yeah, so this is the wiring at the back. See, as I open it, it is quite big, and all of it is, I can't even get it in the entire frame, so sorry about that. But yeah, that's how it is, and each of these things inside, oh, oops, sorry, some guy fell back there. So yeah, each of these wiring in here is completely, you can just pose it in any way you want. It goes up, it goes down, but getting that right is the biggest issue, and just to fit him on and play around with it and get it right is a pain in the ass, I feel. But it does give a more authentic look to Spawn. It looks much more comic accurate and way better than the previous one in terms of aesthetics. But yeah, and these guys right here are something which really annoy me. I don't know how to fix them, but I will have to figure a way out. So these are my two main issues for the cape, but apart from that, I am loving it. it's really, really amazing how it looks on Spawn. Another thing to note that this cape of Spawn, he comes with these one pair of chains. In the first cape, the shorter one, you get only one of these, but in these you get two. These chains look really cool. They can add a lot of, new ways to pose Spawn. You can wrap these around him, and they just really have a really cool feel to it. Here, let me just take one of them apart to give you a better look. So yeah, they're pretty long, so they won't fit in the entire frame. So let me just so there you go. It's really long, and one cool thing about them is how these ends of the chain, like these spikes, I don't know, you could use them to, I don't pierce some, demons or whatever you're posing it with. And also the ends of these chains from this space onwards are like wired, so you can pose them in a certain way if you want to. The wire is not that strong, so be aware of that, because it still bends, I guess, because of the weight and the edge due to this guy. But yeah, he comes with a pair of these two. You get only one, and these are a bit longer than the first one which came with. So yeah, you can use these to pose him around. So this is Spawn in the shorter cape which came earlier from maxbird, which is the first custom cape I got for him. I mean, the second one is the one which is the longer one, because I feel those are the best custom capes for Spawn in the market. As you can see, this part is much more bulkier than the other one. This used to be, it's really hard stuff in there. I don't know what, bunch of cloth overlapping, or I don't know, these pins making it really a hard surface there. But yeah, it's a much shorter version, not too much of wiring in there like the previous one which I showed, the longer one. But this is how he looks like in this version. This is how the entire cape looks like from the back. There is a bit of dark coloring in there. I don't know why that's there, but yeah. The only issues I had with this cape was that it's a bit short. I would have preferred it to be longer. And the second most major issue was when I had glued this cape here, Spawn's head couldn't really move side to side. So that used to really bother me a lot, which I don't feel with the newer one, because there's a bit more space near the neck for Spawn's head to completely move around. So I don't see that with the new one, but it was there with this one. But apart from that, this cape is really good. Do note that this cape also has a different kind of fabric used in it. It's more like cloth type. The other one is more like, how to say, soft texture, and on the inside it's more like velvet for the longer cape. I think those are the only differences, that it's a bit longer, it has more wiring, it's a different fabric, and the neck part is a bit different because you see those, thorn-like things coming out from the side. So yeah, this is the previous one, that was the newer one. So let me know what you think in the comments about this cape and the previous one. Which one's your favorite? Or do you just prefer the normal cape he comes with, which is made of a bit of a soft plastic? And yeah, do like and subscribe, and don't forget to stay tuned for more. Bye, have a nice day, stay blessed, and take care of yourself.